Hello, welcome back to the Bleeping Mechanic. Kyle again. I'm in my garage and looks like shit. So what we're doing today is we're trying to get some of these extra little projects that I've been holding on to out of here. So today we're going to tackle 2 garbage picks. What we have is a weed whacker and a leaf blower that we picked up off the side of the road on the way home one day. I figured, what the hell? Maybe they got some life in them still. So let's get to it. So what we got here is two cycle yard pieces of equipment. One day I was driving home and I was like, hey, look it, bunch of trash. Might as well grab it. I mean, that can't go wrong, right? So looks like we got a weed eater blower vac. And so it's one of those ones that had the bottom that pops off. I didn't see any of that equipment there. Don't know how that works either. That pops off and lets you suck it in and then goes into a bag, but like I said, that wasn't there. And then we have a John Deere S1400 weed whacker with the detachable shaft, so you can add on different things. So yeah, I don't know anything about these things. They might as well be rebrands. Who knows? They could be, like the John Deere could be made from another manufacturer, just relabeled. But we're going to go ahead and dive into these things, see if we can get them working. We'll start with the blower. Went ahead and moved the blower up on the chair just to get it up in front of me. So let's look at it. Gas. And if there's any gas in it, there's not much. 40 to 1. It's a little rich for me. Oh no, there's gas in there. Don't know how good that gas is. Woo! What you're supposed to do if you have any kind of fluid that you want to smell or whatever, waft it. Don't do what I just did. It's a good way to die. All right, so throttle up on top here. Push and hold switch for stop. Okay, stop, push and hold. Prime ball. We'll go with, let's see, you got slow, 1 up, 2 up, 3 up. So slow, medium fast, fast. So other than that, there's no trigger, pull, choke. We have full choke, half choke, and choke off. It's cold. Full choke. Don't know if that's working. We're gonna go to medium slow. Let's give this thing a pull. Ooh, that's awesome. Look at that spark plug. Oh, this thing is just filthy. Actually, the spark plug doesn't look too bad. Could have been just protected from all the years. I like it. All right, let's go half choke. Leave the throttle there. Okay, smoking like a fiend. When I tried to bring the idle down, it does not want to idle. Could be the gas, probably the spark plug, and there's a lot of smoke. That exhaust and that fuel is probably shit. So let me get this gas out of here. All right. This gas does not smell great. Does not smell great. Ooh, there's actually more in there than I thought. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. I wonder if the person that had this, maybe they tried gas. It doesn't look horrible. Actually, just smells like really, really, Maybe that's ethanol free. Good question. I'm not exactly sure. There was definitely some gunk in there though. Well, I got some fresh two-stroke. Looks fine in the tank. So let's add some fresh two-stroke real quick. Okay, if that's what fresh two-stroke looks like, that's really dark. Now, it did say 40 to 1. I'm going to be running it a little leaner than that. I run almost everything at 50 to 1. The other thing I'm going to do before I start up again, clean that spark plug. So let's get that off of there before it gets too hot. All right, let's see how dirty this thing is. Wet. That's really wet. I mean, that is not burnt up. That looks good. It almost looks newer. Champion, RCG, RCJ, 8Y. Let's go ahead and clean that off. All right, went ahead and brushed it down, just shined it up a little bit. I'm gonna pull start this to get some of that fuel out of there. All right, let's see if that helps. It was very wet. It might be running a little rich. Like I said, there was a lot of smoke and it won't idle. After turning the choke off. All right. You think it's gonna make any difference? All right, new gas. I'm gonna keep it on medium-low speed. Prime it up a few times, get that better gas flowing through. Go half choke. Contact. You know what that's from. Had to open the garage door before I die of asphyxiation. Looked it up. It is the correct spark plug. It's older, but I would say it's fine. Gapped it. It's correct. Spark looks fine. So did a little bit of research online and tried to, when I was looking up spark plug, and a lot of people just say these things run like shit. They say adjust it so it will maintain idle, just fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blow this thing clean off, get it to adjust so it's running at least a decent idle, and where it will throttle up. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. And then we're going to call this one good enough. And then I'll probably just give it to my dad or somebody, in-laws, and they can use it. But this one wasn't much of a project. It's more of a figure it out and see if it works. Just proves, though, that you can find garbage and actually be decent. So, one man's trash, another man's treasure. All right. honestly, that works out really good. Yeah. That's one done. Let's go ahead and check out that weed whacker, see if we can get it going. All right. Next one. Oh. God, these things are filthy. All right. Ooh, and we're leaking gas already. Problem number one, leaking gas. All right, John Deere S1400. Leaking gas from where? Ooh, leaking gas from... Okay, it looks like it could be from the gas tank itself. All right, come on. Let me go grab a cloth. Wipe this thing down. Might be a cracked fuel tank. This one might have a cracked fuel tank. So let's see if it's that. I'm not too worried about this one. Just wiping down the plastic because it's all nice and filthy. And it could also be coming from one of these upper fuel lines. All right. Round two. Let's see what happens. Oh, nope. Okay. No, it's coming right from... Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but this fuel line right here. Oh, and that. Okay, so if you can see this, you may not be able to. But this fuel line right here, nice and snug. Watch this one. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, and it's just pouring out right next to it. So yeah, that's where it's coming. Let's fix that first. So I don't want to try to run this thing and have it blow up. So let's do that. So let's go ahead and we're going to drain the gas. Where'd my bowl go? Bowl? I mean, probably good too. This is probably just as old as gas. Came from the same house. All right, gas gone. You know they have, oh no, it's I thought it was duct tape. It's like aluminum tape on the gas tank by near that muffler. All right, so I have some random fuel line. Oh, what the hell? Is that fuel? What? Okay, I just started pulling this thing out. The fuel line is like disintegrating, but it's like a double layer fuel line on this thing. So that one, because one of these is an intake and one's a return. I'm gonna see which one that is, because one of these fuel lines, go ahead and gonna pop it off the carburetor directly. One of these fuel lines is going to be coming into the carburetor from a fuel filter, and that's what I want to see. Oh wow, I just opened up the fuel tank and there's blue guts in there, and that's from the fuel line. The fuel line was definitely causing some problems. So out with the old. My guess is that is, okay, good news. That's just the return line. I'm just going to pull that out. much as I can. I have some other fuel line around. There we go. Okay. Just checking this other fuel line. I mean, this seems fine. Let me go ahead and grab some fuel line real quick. I have a couple different sizes, so let's see. That one slides on, but just barely. All right, we're going to use fuel line number 1. Yeah, this will work. So just going to trim off a piece so it goes from the nipple down and just a couple inches into the tank. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to get this thing to stuff back into this tank. And this is usually the hardest part. What I've done in the past is use some fishing string, tie it around, feed it down in there. Because this will slide on here pretty decent. Then I got to try to just get this to go down back into the hole of the fuel tank. And it's the hardest part. I think I'm going to end up doing my little trick with fishing string. All right, so what we do, take some fishing string. This is just some 10-pound mono. I'll feed it into the tank to get it near the mouth of the gas tank enough. Oh, right there. Oh, goes like that. All right, so what I got is fishing string strung through like that. And then take these gloves off, and I'm going to tie it around this. Right at the mouth. A couple times. Little cinch knots. Grab and cinch like so. And as you pull, it gets tighter. With each pull. And I'm just going to help it in. I just need to get it in far enough. There we go. Boom. There we go. There we go. So all I did was I wrapped it around the fuel. And you create like a inverse knot kind of thing. So as you pull, it cinches tighter and you hold it. And you usually can tape up the top tail and it squeezes, and I do it 3 times. Now I'll be able to take this, slide it on like so. So now I got a return line. Now it's not the exact right size. It goes on decent, but I'll throw a zip tie on there and cinch it. So I'm happy though with that right now, enough that I'm going to try to put gas back in it. Not that shitty gas. So let's go ahead, add a little bit of gas. Start off with that. Just enough for that filter to be covered up. Okay. I'll prime this up. See if we start getting fuel flowing through the carb. I mean, the primer ball is nice and full. All right, so now we've got a good fuel line. It isn't leaking. I guess we can test it. No leaking. Primer ball is priming. I mean, that's really about that. I'm going to quickly look at this air filter. Oop, looks like I've been pumping a little bit of gas in there. Whoop. Oh, okay, I'm glad I did that. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, okay. Glad I took that off because that was just going to suck its way right into that. So we'll get a nice little, I'll cut a piece of foam off of that. At least that's one thing I checked before. All right, let's see. We got spark plug, kill switch, throttle working. Oop. Still getting a lot of fuel. Medium warm start, cold start. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, nothing. Let's check the spark plug. See if we're getting spark or fuel. I can tell you right now we're getting fuel everywhere. Spark plug doesn't look horrible. RCJ6Y. A little bit of carbon on it. I'm just going to clean it up and then I'm going to test for spark. Get the little wire brush here. Okay. Let's see if we got any spark. Not a very easy way to test, so trying to see spark. Yep, all right. Not sure if you can see that. If you look right here, so the screwdriver is touching the head, and then the screwdriver is touching the spark plug. Plenty of spark. Spark good. Fuel is pouring out of this carb. Holy shit. I'm gonna leave that off for now. Not a spark issue. Compression feels like compression. And these things are usually only like 25 cc. So we got spark. Spark plug was not wet, so I would say there's a chance that, so we know at least spark, and we have compression. Fuel is the only thing. So full choke. Nothing. Let's verify that it is fuel. We're going to do some liquid persuasion. Starting fluid. Open up throttle. Tiny little bit. Feels like what might be going on is that I'm wondering if that carb is completely plugged from who knows what, that it's not even getting into the engine, because with that should be a wet spark plug, right? Let's see. I have faith that we'll get this thing going. All right. It's wet. Don't know if you heard there, but it did just tickle. Ooh. right there, it's idling, staying at idle. So that was the white and the idle screw. Seems to be really good. One thing that's going to change though is when we plug some, stop running it. One thing that's going to change, so we adjusted the white to get it to idle with enough fuel. And then we revved it up, and while we revved it up, we adjusted the red. The red screw adjusts the top end, high end amount of fuel. So we adjusted it down so we get as high as we can where it's running really fast, and we back it down to just get a little bog to it. Not a lot. And once it's going to dump a little extra fuel in there, it keeps it running nice and lubricated in the cylinder because it's a 2-cycle. 2-cycle means there's oil mixing with the gas, and that's the only way this thing lubricates. The cylinder, the bottom end, everything. If it doesn't have a little richness to it, it will run so hot that it will get seized and lock up pistons and rings and everything. The motor's done. So we bring it down just a bit. But as of right now, no leaks. Replaced one fuel line, cleaned up the spark plug. That carburetor probably has some junk in it, and we adjusted the carb a little bit. I am definitely going to get a piece. I've got some foam up in the top. So I'm going to grab a piece of foam, cut that to shove in there. That's going to cause it to run a little more rich because it's going to restrict the air a smidgen. But that's fine. Little tiny rich isn't a problem. But this thing's running too. So both this and that blower, junkyard, not junkyard, out in the front of a roadside trash bin. Someone threw them away because they just probably neglected them and they were like, screw it. They probably bought electric. That's what everybody's doing nowadays. But both of these work. So I'm going to see if anybody wants them and give them away. And friends, family, anybody. Because, I mean, I'm not going to charge them for anything. They pick out the garbage and put 10 minutes of work into them. So, yeah. Well, that's it, guys. That's awesome. So this guy's running. The head was spinning. It sounds great. 2 pieces of equipment fixed up, ready to go. So I appreciate it, guys, and make sure to hit that thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next video. Make sure to hit that subscribe. We'll see you guys soon. Take it easy.